OBS is on. So no saying any stupid shit, or else you're gonna get banned.
Do you want to start with the birds, or do you want to start with ranking
Gotta start
points?
with the intro.
Okay, yeah, obviously, but.
All right, how do you want to introduce it?
Alright.
Too late. I hit the record button. What the deuce, bro? Hey, hello, internet people. Welcome to our awesome Winsquadcast featuring me, Brother Quang, and
I'm Wagon Fruit. We're hosting live from the TDL server.
yeah,
Link in the description.
Awesome.
Link in the description for that.
I'm gonna link it. I'm gonna link it in the
yes, you
description.
are, motherfucker. I locked you into it. I said it. It's fact.
Okay. Well, you have to remind me to do it because actually, no, I'm gonna watch it back and I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that. Welcome to the Winsquadcast, where we are gonna talk about a bunch of Pokemon bullshit, and you're gonna listen and really like it.
Yeah, we're just gonna go off, I guess.
Yeah, we're gonna go off. It's we got dokythedingus, who is the greatest player of all time, and then me, who is the second greatest player of all time. Unless you run weather, then I'm actually mid.
Which you have a weather team?
Alright, shut the frog up.
Okay. So I still didn't get to confirm with you which topic first. Birds
We're gonna talk about the birds first. So if you don't know what a bird is.
No. So okay, we have to explain it. So the first topic we got. We're gonna do a little segment every episode. It's called a Mon comparison.
Yeah, that's what it says on the spreadsheet. We couldn't come up with a better title than that.
We're just gonna do Mon comparisons. It's the first get it going topic.
Yeah.
And right now we got Skarmory versus Corviknight.
Yeah, and do you know how they're similar?
Give me your thoughts, Klein.
Skarmory versus Corviknight. Here's my thoughts.
Yeah.
Corviknight is a steel flying type that can do a variety of different functions, and Skarmory is also a steel flying type with significantly less functions than Corviknight. I gotta be honest.
So I think the thing about Skarmory, people downplay it, is okay. So
does anyone talk about Skarmory first?
In ladder, right? Skarmory would be better, I guess, for a more aggro team because he sets up fucking hazards, and then he doesn't die because it's sturdy, and then Corviknight can't do that, and then Corviknight would be better on a more defensive or balanced team because it gets a U-turn and it's bulkier, especially.
Yeah.
So I guess that's divided. But when you're in draft league, right, you have to be able to adapt to more matchups. So
yeah, I think you're also jumping the gun.
That's where the debate comes in.
I think you're jumping the gun. I think we should explain the strengths of each of the birds first before being oh, this is the kind of team this works on. This is the kind of team that works on. So first we can talk about Corviknight. Corviknight is a beast. It's a flying steel type.
Fucking bulky.
With some really nice bulk and a very nice moveset.
I think just the main thing over Skarmory has having U-turn.
Yeah,
being able to gain momentum and being that fucking bulky, it's insane. It's
got U-turn. It's got pressure. It also has bulk up, which is something Skarmory does not have.
Okay,
Skarmory, a little underrated thing. But
Skarmory has weak armor Swords Dance, so
that is true. But bulk up is a bit more reliable.
Well, this one's more awesome.
Well, it is more awesome. That's true. Corviknight also has this awesome ability called Pressure, which means that this Pokemon that's already very difficult to kill can just PP stall the shit out of you, because it just clicks Roost and it loses 1 PP, and then you attack it and you lose 2, and just then what?
It's actually fast. Pressure is a really cool ability. I like it more on offensive mons, but Corviknight is just an asshole with it.
It also has this cool ability that is not as useful because Pressure is a lot better, called Mirror Armor, which is you can try to intimidate, you try to click Intimidate on Corviknight. It's not gonna do shit. You're gonna get reversed. Which I guess could also be played in a different way, because I guess if you're a Defiant Pokemon, you could click a stat lowering move against a Corviknight with Mirror Armor.
That's
that would be some heat. That's actually some heat.
All right, we're gonna have to need that.
Yeah, we're gonna add that to need that.
We're gonna have to have that in a match.
Yeah, it also has Unnerve, which you're never gonna use on Corviknight, because
you're
just never gonna use it. It's just kind of facts.
It's true.
But yeah, the big thing that Corviknight has over Skarmory is it has better special bulk because it has higher HP and better SPDF.
Right.
Which also means that its physical bulk, which Skarmory has a lot higher physical defense, but its HP is a lot lower. So their physical bulk is actually not that far off.
They're almost the same.
Yeah, and Corviknight also has... Yeah, Skarmory has way higher PhysDef, which means that doesn't really need to invest in it for it to be as good. But it also has less HP. They're basically about the same. But the big thing Corviknight has...
It means that the body press does more damage.
The body press does do more damage.
It's true.
Yeah. The big thing is, though, U-turn on Corviknight is so good. It's so good. If Skarmory got U-turn, I don't think Skarmory and Corviknight would be as much of a debate. It'd be more of a debate. No, it'd be more of a debate.
You think Skarmory would be easily better?
No, I don't. I think it would be closer. I don't think Skarmory would be easily better, but I think Corviknight is better. But if Skarmory got U-turn, I think
Skarmory would be much better.
Maybe. I think U-turn, however, is the thing that pushes Corviknight to be better than Skarmory because a slow pivot is really good.
Skarmory would be way better in ladder if it got U-turn.
I would be way better in ladder. Unfortunately, I'm not a ladder player. I'm a stinky draft player, so I like my Corviknight better.
Yeah. I don't play ladder much either. I just...
The cool thing about Corviknight is that you can run the same set every week and it'll always work.
Yeah.
You can't do that with Skarmory. Actually, you probably could do that with Skarmory, but it
you do that with Skarmory. It just doesn't. It doesn't like keep your whole team together. I think Skarmory paired with other defensive mons can actually be more annoying than Corviknight can.
But Corviknight can
you have to use it very right.
Mons. Corviknight gets in your scary offensive mons that like kind of beat up your opponent, and you're like, oh,
yeah,
and then you lose. But that's enough talking about Corviknight. Let's talk about Skarmory. This thing is awesome.
You think so?
It's pretty awesome. It's not as awesome as Corviknight, but it's still pretty good.
I haven't heard you talk much about Skarmory.
Yeah, well, it's called Hazards are good. Hazards with phasing is good. Skarmory is an unkillable son of a bitch. It's guaranteed to get up at least one layer of hazards. Because it has sturdy. And it also has the funny weak armor set that we talked about that we're going to make actually totally heat. And it also
I ran that before and it didn't work because I sucked back when I used it. But
well, that's your own goddamn fault.
It is my own goddamn fault.
Yeah, Skarmory's got hazards. It has a stronger body press.
It also has access to iron defense, which is way better for body press.
Well, to be fair, Corviknight also has that.
Shout out to Celeste fucking sweeping pickles with that. By the way.
I'm talking shit. Well, Corviknight also has that, so it's not like a unique thing.
Yeah, but Corviknight does stupid bulk up.
Yeah.
Wait, does it? Wait, it gets iron defense. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, Corviknight could do it. It honestly probably does it better.
Corviknight doesn't do as much damage because of the defense. It gets astronomically better.
Yes, but Corviknight is better likely to sweep because it'll live another hit. Because it has SPDF. It's kind of awesome.
I see Dax asking thoughts on Raptor, Star Raptor.
We're not at that part of the show yet.
We're not there yet.
We're not there yet.
I think we'll get there another time.
Interrupt our segment. It's not fair. I need to finish talking about Corviknight.
Okay, but Corviknight gets...
We already finished talking about Corviknight. We're going to talk about Skarmory now.
Skarmory gets Dark Pulse? That's like awesome.
It gets Dark Pulse? You're never going to use Dark Pulse. It gets cut.
Oh my god, so true.
Yeah. I feel like...
Why does it get Icy Wind?
I don't know. It's probably a weird Gen 2 move.
True.
It's kind of cracked.
What does it actually get? I've never seen that in my life.
It's kind of cracked. Oh, that's not... Oh, you should run that one day. It'd be awesome.
Icy Wind?
Such a twist.
Skarmory?
Yeah, running doubles.
I'm gonna do that.
But yeah. I think a weak point to Skarmory is that it's not very like if you have a team that does not give much of a shit about what Skarmory can do, it doesn't really do much. It's like if you have a team that doesn't care about hazards, there's no point setting up hazards. A team that doesn't care about body press, a team with a bunch of special attackers that just kill Skarmory.
True. Yeah, I guess Corviknight just cares. Corviknight cares way less about the matchup. I think
Corviknight cares a lot less about the matchup, and I also think it's more easy to slap onto a team
Yeah.
I feel like Skarmory, you put Skarmory on a team where it doesn't fit, and it's just feel like, oh, this sucks. But it's really hard to come up with like a team where a Corviknight doesn't fit. Unless if it's just like bad. In which case, yeah,
Sure.
Corviknight doesn't fit on a bad team. It's a good Pokemon.
Dak also points out it gets Whirlwind. Skarmory's Whirlwind.
Well,
That
it
is
does
pretty
get Whirlwind.
important.
It also gets Roar, but like just run Whirlwind.
The thing is, with Skarmory getting Whirlwind, Corviknight having U-turn also means that he can just pivot into something that can win the 1v1.
Yeah.
If you have that kind of prep, which you should.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily like a game changer.
Yeah. Corviknight's good.
Phasing is really important.
I also think that Corviknight is just generally a bit more effective if you want to run offensive Corviknight. You don't really run offensive Skarmory ever, unless you want to like Iron Defense Body Press with Brave Bird. But you don't have any way of really boosting your attack outside of Swords Dance, which is probably not a good idea.
The weird thing is,
I wouldn't have enough move slots to do that.
Yeah, I actually think Corviknight would do worse on stall teams just because of Skarmory's hazards.
Skarmory phases. Skarmory's a way better stall Pokemon.
Hazards
It also
phasing,
gets
yeah.
toxic. Skarmory also gets toxic. Corviknight doesn't.
It also has Taunt, which is actually underrated as hell.
Taunt is a good move. If you use
that's
Taunt, you're
really
a good
good.
player.
True.
It is a fact. I've never seen.
It's actually so fast.
I've never seen a bad player use Taunt. It's fact.
That's so fact. That's actually the divide between good player and horrible.
Corviknight also has funny power trip. Power trip, Iron Defense, bulk up. Wait, no, that doesn't work. A nasty plot, Iron Defense, power trip, Corviknight. Literally awesome.
Oh yeah, that's like the day one, the day one awesome.
Actually cracked.
It is awesome.
But yeah,
I'm just usually way more. I'm just gravitate more towards Skarmory because now that Corviknight's out, I feel like Skarmory's more interesting to me.
Yeah, I'm a Corviknight fan. I'm a big fan of this bird. I had it once with a Clefable, and I was just like, oh, this shit doesn't die.
Yeah, you're also a fan of Torn, so it's not surprising to me.
I love flying types. I love flying types. When I see a flying type, I'm like, yeah.
You're just in love with the best flying types in like the mid game.
I love flying
the
types.
entire roster.
I love flying types. I love flying types. And Skarmory is just not for me. Just personally, just not a fan. I think it's pretty good. I think people think this thing is just garbage sometimes.
Honestly, it just doesn't fit your archetype, so I kind of get it.
But it's just like, oh, it's not for me, but I understand how it can be threatening.
I feel like on stall it can just be way more fucking annoying.
Yeah, because
especially with access to Toxic and Taunt, like that could be so annoying.
I'm gonna click Toxic. I'm gonna click Taunt. You can't phase me. I'm never gonna die in one hit. I have Roost.
Yeah. Any physical attack.
This thing does not die to physical attacks unless if it's like something ridiculous.
I guess.
Maybe does it even get O-code by Darm? It probably does.
By a Flare Blitz, maybe it brings it down to sturdy.
Let's calc this.
But also being draft, it means that you don't.
Scarf Darm doesn't actually O-code all the time, which is kind of funny.
That is pretty funny.
It is pretty funny. Unfortunately, it doesn't really matter because it's 2 KOing, so it doesn't actually matter. Yeah.
Well, it beats U-turn.
It does beat U-turn.
Another thing about Skarmory, well, actually, it's about both of them, but more towards Skarmory, is because it's draft. You don't need to invest everything into defense. You can actually put some special bulk in there.
Yeah, you can invest in. You can like depending on the matchup, you can be like, oh, I gotta go special Corviknight here, or oh, I have to go physical because there's just a big scary physical threat that I have to worry about.
Yeah.
And going physical Corviknight would really help me out.
Yeah, Corv can have its have its. What am I trying to say? Corv can decide whether it wants to go Spit After or Fizz Dap, but Skarmory can have that base space phys def, and then it can have special bulk if it needs to because it's draft. So it makes it a little bit better in that regard.
Yeah. But yeah. Skarmory is better on certain styles of teams, but Corviknight is just, I think, generally better because U-turn is a broken move, and Corviknight can also one-hit KO with Volcarona with Brave Bird, so it's actually a Volcarona check.
Unfortunately, even though I like Skarmory like generally more now, and it has a lot of strengths, I think U-turn just makes Corviknight so much better.
Look, when you have U-turn, which is the best move in the game, what are you gonna do?
So true.
You gonna lose? You gonna win? You're probably gonna lose. Thankfully, this is the Winsquadcast, so we don't actually lose here.
True. No losing.
Facts.
Actuals. Everything's busted.
Yeah, everything's busted. Basically, TLDR, Corviknight better unless you're running stall. Then you run Skarmory.
Corviknight better because draft needs you to be more versatile, and Corv can do that better. So.
Yeah. However, if Skarmory got U-turn, we'd be talking a little bit different here.
We'd be talking a little different. True.
It'd be a lot closer.
That would literally just be a divide between Corv having better bulk spread and Skarmory getting hazards. That would literally be what it is.
Also,
I think
don't forget about funny bulk up.
Okay.
It's not as unviable as it sounds.
It's not.
It's just most of the time that Corviknight wants to be run like bulky.
They have it on the Pokemon Showdown calculator as a potential set.
Okay,
so
well, I don't listen to the Pokemon Showdown calculator.
I automatically think it is awesome.
They run unsets sometimes. It's like, why would you?
Yeah, like when they run like random speed investment.
Here's the 16 speed. Why does it have this much speed? I don't know. It's only for OU ladder. It only makes sense there. So if you're playing matchups that are like OU ladder,
then I hate you, but also good job. It's good for you.
All right, I think that's enough about the birds. I'm sick of talking about birds.
I want to get into the ranking tier 18.
Yeah, we're gonna do our
that's what I want to do right now.
Section called ranking point tiers ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! ! There's 3 numbers down here. You don't get to know what the other 2 are, but in this segment we go through one of the point tiers and we rate all the mons in there from best to worst. Worst to best.
So in tier 18 we got 7 picks, and we're gonna rank them from best to worst.
Yep.
I think this could.
We also should probably say, what the Pokemon are, perhaps.
Yeah. Okay.
So that like people know what we're rating, and we're also basing this off of the TDL doc because that's where we're hosting this from. TDL. Even
this
though
is the TDL podcast.
It's the TTL podcast. We've claimed it as our own.
Literally us server now.
Literally in the server. You can't say, we gotta do a different one. Even though there should be a Dragapult on this list, but there isn't. I'm gonna complain about that. Dragapult should have been legal. I'm just saying.
Oh, you actually think that?
Yes.
I see. Okay.
I see.
So the mons we have here are Garchomp, Mega Diancie, Mega Gallade, Mega Mawile, Mew, Tornadus Tarian, and Urshifu Single.
Tornadus Tarian.
So I think we've together come to a little bit of a consensus that Mew is probably the best.
Yeah, it's really hard to not be the best when you can kind of just do everything.
I'm still genuinely debating Mew versus Tornadus Tarian. I think Tornadus Tarian is fucking ridiculous.
It is pretty ridiculous. I am a Tornty big fan of that bird. However, a Tornty is really good. But I think that Mew is like just phenomenal. I think Mew is just a problem that it's just a Pokemon that has pretty much no problems because you can run a set to fix that. It's a Pokemon that's basically impossible to like properly counter until you know the set. Which, granted, there's a lot of mons like that, but there's nothing I think that does that like Mew.
Yeah. I mean, people talk about how scary and broken Necrozma is all the time.
Yeah.
But Mew literally can do the same thing. It has more of a move pool. It has base 100 speed. It has fucking base 100 HP and defenses, which mind you, base 100 HP and defenses, you would consider a really good fucking wall.
Yeah.
It's like the majority of the time.
And it doesn't even need defense investment to be reasonably bulky, because you're like, oh, you can run offense and then expect yourself to actually like live hits.
Yeah.
And it gets like 5 different forms of reliable recovery.
Mm.
And it gets like every setup move.
It literally can be Necrozma. It's just Necrozma looks scarier, so it's like people are like, "Oh my god,
Necrozma has a slightly higher special attack, so it's better." Okay, but like you can literally do everything.
Mm-hmm.
The only I guess the only things that like it can't do are like it has like it's things that you need like special like abilities to do. It's like, okay, it's not gonna hit things nearly as hard without a boost as like Mega Mawile.
Right.
Because
the thing is, it can, with the right investment and the right like item choice, it can accomplish whatever you want it to do.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you actually prepare it correctly, because it is just a pure psychic type. That's like its main downside. Yeah, pure psychic type.
Yeah, if its typing was better, it would be better. It'd be
it would be illegal. It would be illegal if the type was better. But like, oh my god, this thing is ridiculous.
This thing is actually kind of cracked. It can, if you've thought of something, remember talking about Corviknight and Skarmory, it was like, oh, some of these can only run like certain kind of sets, blah, blah, blah. You could literally run any set that either of those could run.
Yeah.
It might not do it better, but it can run literally anything.
You could build a team whatever you want, and then just slap Mew on it. It could do
and it's just
anything
like, okay,
you need it to.
You need it to be defensive, it can do that. You want to have it be your win con, it can do that. You want to have it be something you want to have it be like a good breaker, it can do that. It can literally just do so much.
You want it to have the option to be several different kinds of win cons.
Mm-hmm.
If you so choose.
It's so good. That's why I think Mew is just the best of the 18 pointers.
Yeah.
It's something that you just look at and you're just like, fuck.
Fuck.
It's like, what, how do I even prep for this? It's also just a nightmare to prep for, because what is it going to run?
Right. Yeah. And you have to really know what the other guy's thinking to
I think the biggest downside to Mew is that if you're too predictable with it, it can kind of be like, it might come back to get you if you're like, oh, I'm going to run the same 2 sets like every week,
right?
Alternating. It's like, okay.
That's the
biggest problem with Mew, is that like if you're stupid, it's not as effective.
Yeah, I mean, if you're stupid, nothing's effective.
Yeah, well, there's literally an 18 pointer that does not punish you for being stupid.
Okay, yeah.
There's like, honestly, there's like maybe 2.
There's okay. I would say that there's Urshifu single Mega Maw is what you're thinking. Right?
I was actually not thinking of Mega Maw. I think if you're stupid with Mega Maw, it's gonna die.
Yeah.
I was thinking the other. Honestly, I'm kind of thinking the other. I didn't think the other one was it was Torn. Honestly, you can be stupid with Torn and still play well.
That's my second guess. You can be stupid with Torn and then make it back with U-turn and regen.
Speaking of Torn, I do think Torn is the second best of the 18 pointers out of these 18 pointers.
Yeah.
Because
assuming Dragapult's not there, yeah.
It's so good. It's so good. It's literally, this is the best mid game Pokemon out of all the 18 pointers. Yeah. Honestly, maybe not even out of all the 18 pointers. It's just in general. It's so good. People that hate this thing are just mad because Hurricane is a bit inconsistent. But if you're relying on Hurricane with Torn, you're probably not using it right. If that's your win con, you're either running Nasty Plot or you're using it wrong. Okay,
Septile, I see you talking about Shifu and Megamaw there. They aren't as fucking dominating during a game as Torn is. Mm-hmm. They'll take some names, but like Torn's literally gonna command the entire game.
Torn helps you just control the pace. It has a lot of options too.
Listen, Megamaw and Urshifu, they're 18 pointers for a reason, but like you cannot deny how often Torn T can just come in and out and destroy you.
Torn T helps you get your threats in. It threatens everything, even without investment. It just kind of Hurricane is something that nothing really wants to switch into unless you resist it, and even then, there's a confused chance.
Well, Chickadee, I see that, but Urshifu doesn't come in and out like Torn does.
Yeah, Urshifu can't switch in all that easily.
It really can't. It is a fighting dark type. That's not necessarily
if you get Urshifu in, it's gonna fuck some shit up. But that's the hard part. Same thing with Megamaw. If you get that thing in, something's probably gonna die. But it's not gonna get in very easily.
I mean, y'all are arguing about, well, it has this amazing type combo, Megamaw, and Urshifu has base 100 Fizz Depth. That's why they're 18 pointers, because they have those attributes that
if they were frailer,
make Megamaw really good. But I mean, you still don't want to be doing that. You don't want to be switching them in and out like you do Torn, which can just regen everything off. You can run a bulky set. You can take whatever hit, not die, and outspeed the next thing.
You can run offense. There's so much. Like, speaking of something that has a lot of variety, it's not Mew level, but like Torn T has a lot of shit it can run. You can just run generic nasty plot. You can run like U-turn with like defog, knockoff, hurricane, HP investment. You can run like you can run taunt on it. You could run AV. It's actually a really good AV Pokemon because of regen, which means that like the fact that it doesn't get reliable recovery doesn't really matter because you can click U-turn and get a third of your health back.
Yeah, I mean running a recovery on it would just be a waste anyway. Honestly, it has 4 moves. That's like the main thing. It has 4 move syndrome. So
and it also, kind of needs
boots
boots most of the time. I will say that much. But boots is a broken item, so why aren't you running boots anyway? It's also really good removal. Torn is like so good at removing hazards. It's so good.
And yeah, versatility really is key majority of the time.
Oh, look, Torn can run AV. In this instance that you don't need to worry as much about rocks, because you either have other removal or your opponent has bad rockers.
I mean, even if you don't run boots, I mean, you're gonna get shit by rocks 25% and then heal off 30% off regen. So I mean, your Torn isn't even getting chipped. So if the rest of your team doesn't care that much about rocks, it won't matter too much as long as you know that you want your Torn like at that health. You don't care that much about it being that healthy.
Also, you'd be surprised by how many people just don't run rocks today because boots exist.
That's true.
It's like there's just no point because they're just running boots.
Yeah, I found people if they're not running rocks as often, if that's not true, then they're not clicking it as often. It's really interesting. It's still like really important, but people are not clicking it as much as you think.
Because it's not as good. People run boots. But yeah, Torn is busted.
Yeah. I will stand by Torn.
Hurricane
second.
on free turns is literally the easiest thing in the world to do because it doesn't matter if it misses. If it misses, it's just nothing happens, and if it hits, you get free damage.
Yeah.
Potential confused chance. Or you can just click U-turn.
And I mean, there's gonna be a number of teams that can't take a Hurricane very well because flying is just not that easy to contest.
If you're a flying weak team, bad news, buddy.
Bad news, you're literally getting 6
Torn's gonna beat you. If your only answer also just dies to a heat wave, then yeah, you're fucked.
So we have Mew, Torn. Right?
Mew and then Torn.
I think this is where the area gets gray.
Remember that guy Urshifu?
Yeah, Urshifu.
Yeah, I think Urshifu's the third best.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is
I still want to think about some of the others. I still want to think about some of the others. But
all right, well then I'm going to explain my point. Urshifu, despite having 2 sets, is so fucking threatening that it doesn't need more than those 2 sets. The other 2 Pokemon are really versatile. Urshifu is so good it doesn't need to be versatile.
Right.
I mean, if Urshifu had more sets that were like consistently good, like you could run like sub bulk up, but then you're not clicking Wicked Blow. Or like you're not clicking Wicked Blow. What are you doing? Choice Band Urshifu just kills the fuck out of everything.
I found that it's more helpful to combine Urshifu with a second break or a second hard hitter that complements against fairy types, obviously, because those are what shuts it down mostly.
If you have something that can bust through breakers, it's really good. It's not bust through breakers, bust through fairies, because Urshifu is gonna run a choice item, and fairies. I think fairies are so important in draft because Urshifu is so good. I think fairies are good anyway. Fairies are really good anyway, but like I think Urshifu kind of just like makes them more mandatory than they already are.
Yeah.
Because like, if you don't have a fairy, your team is just gonna probably lose to Urshifu. You can even have a fairy and still lose.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to have a fairy with reliable recovery, it's like very demanding. What you need to.
Which, to be fair, there's a lot of those. A lot of fairies have reliable recovery. Like and the ones that don't are usually like weird offensive ones. Like Azumarill doesn't have reliable recovery. That's not an Urshifu answer.
Yeah.
Azumarill's also kind of a weird fairy.
There's also the variety of fairies that are wish passes, right? And wish passes run protect with it.
Yeah,
and then Unseen Fist says hello there.
Yeah, Unseen Fist is actually the thing that people forget about sometimes. Because, I'm worried about this Wicked Blow. You can't even scout Urshifu. You have to take the hit. You don't have a choice.
You can't see whether it's going Wicked Blow or CC. It's going to hit something.
It's going to hit something. I will, however, say there's a couple downsides to Urshifu that I don't think are prevalent with the other ones. If the fact that Urshifu is so predictable means that like it's technically easier to prep for. You can go into with an Urshifu game plan and expect it to work more likely because it's either running Band or Scarf. If you have a good fairy, Urshifu's not nearly as much of a threat. Yeah. But if that fairy dies, you're fucked. You have to play well around it. You can have a game plan and like have it be like effective, but if your game plan goes south because oops, my fairy died because Urshifu actually clicked the coverage option instead of Wicked Blow, you're in a bit of a pickle.
I think Urshifu, like you need to your opponent. If you have an Urshifu, they need to understand when you want to get Urshifu in, or they'll lose to it. Yeah. I think that's probably a huge thing too, because I think if you can make like doubles even when you need to, or just make those predictions when Urshifu is coming in, like you need to know, even if it means not killing something, just to not let Urshifu in.
Yeah,
like that could be the play. Like
don't miss Urshifu.
Urshifu is super hard to play around
for free. You're stupid. Don't let it in for free. The other problem that Urshifu has is that its speed tier is not the best. If this thing was a base 100, I think it would just be ban worthy. I'm gonna be completely honest, because the fact that this thing is base 97 is kind of what makes it fair to fight. Because there's just a lot of things that can outspeed it.
Urshifu tends to die to all those like 108s.
There's a lot of like base 100s or like any Scarfer. If it's running Band, it gets outsped by Scarfers. If it's running Scarf, it doesn't hit nearly as hard, and there's more things that can check it.
Yeah.
Like something like Tangrowth is like it gets 2 hit KO'd by Band, but 3 hit KO'd by Scarf. So
yeah.
Oops.
If their draft is good enough to force Scarf for you, then Tangrowth's going to be a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm. Like something like Tangrowth, especially if it runs Rocky Helmet, and Rocky Helmet is also something Urshifu gets annoyed by.
It's always going to run Rocky Helmet. Mm-hmm. That's like the main counterplay.
Yeah, Rocky Helmet is good counterplay to Urshifu. And that kind of counterplay doesn't exist with like Mew or Torn. Well, it might exist with Mew or Torn, but it's not going to be nearly as effective because they can go special, or like not even attack you.
Rocky Helmet's not for Mew or Torn.
Yeah,
not at all.
They really don't care that much. Mew has Urshifu also doesn't have reliable recovery, which doesn't really matter most of the time.
You don't need that on a breaker.
You don't need that on Urshifu, so it doesn't really matter. Also, the fact that it's choice locked means it can kill something, and then you switch in something that can take the hit, so it has to switch out like immediately afterwards. Yeah. Which is also why U-turn is so good on it, because it's like, oh, you predict the switch, and then you get to go into something that can threaten what they sent in.
Yeah, that's why you need 2 breakers. You need like what you got in this league. You got Urshifu Heatran, which I think is really fucking good.
Actually, excuse me, it's Urshifu Azumarill.
Okay.
Azumarill is the breaker. It's kind of crap.
Yeah,
it's pretty crap.
Azumarill is gonna take care of those fairies instead of Heatran.
It's pretty good at doing that. I don't know, you underestimate it. But yeah, Urshifu is really good, but it's not ban worthy.
Like Pickles thinks.
Like certain people think. It's more than just Pickles. There's a lot of people that think Urshifu should be banned. It's like, oh, it's bullshit. It is kind of bullshit, but
bullshit. But it's counterable bullshit.
It's beatable bullshit. It's not like
beatable shit.
It's not like Ash Greninja. Ash Greninja is bullshit. If that thing gets a kill, you just kind of lose.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Urshifu,
or Liberace, which can 2-KO everything on your team regardless. Which can either 2-KO or beat in the 1v1 anything on your team if it chooses to.
Yep.
And that is literally true.
Is fact. All right. So now, as I think when we get to the hard part,
do we think that Urshifu single is immediately better than something like Garchomp or something like Megamon?
I think
like
it
Mega
is.
Blade. Do you think so? Do you think it's better?
I think it is.
I think it probably really is just because the type combination's ridiculous.
Its offense is ridiculous. Its defensive checks are like pretty much nothing. Its offensive checks, however, are kind of plentiful, which is why I don't think it's as good as the other two. Just saying.
All right. I'll accept that. Urshifu third best. Okay. So now the last 4 right now are Garchomp, Mega Diancie, Mega Blade, Mega Mom.
I don't know which one of these is the worst. I don't. These are hard to rank.
It is really hard.
This is when it gets hard. I think the top 3 is pretty easy, and then the next one's like Garchomp is really good. Mega Diancie is really good. Mega Glade is really good. Megamon is really good. What the deuce do I pick?
What the deuce is this? I don't know. I'm clueless right now. What I would. Oh my god, these all seem so equal in different ways.
I mean, if you wanted to like say like which one is like, I guess I don't know which one's the most like self-sufficient.
Self-sufficient. Okay.
I don't know. Is that what makes something good? Does something need like team support to be truly effective? It's a good quality. Did something need team support to be truly effective? That's like self-sufficiency in my eyes.
Right.
Which I could say one of these needs a bit more team support than the others, I think.
I'll say one thing. I think Garchomp is probably the easiest to answer out of all of these.
Yeah, Garchomp is definitely the easiest to
Easiest to directly answer.
Because like
it's still, but the thing is, it's also incredible in the neutral game. Like not neutral game, I say that so much, but like in the mid game, I guess.
Yeah.
And with good prep, like Sceptile says, like Life Orb Fire, you can run that good mix up.
It has a lot of mix ups. It's really hard to like beat. It's just kind of hard to like tell like what it's gonna run because it has this. It's got a lot of options, and if it mixes you up, you're just kind of fucked.
I mean, there's those basic bitches that run the SD scale shots,
which is really good.
It is really good in a
There's nothing
game,
wrong with that, but like sometimes you get hit with Life Orb Fire Blast, or like a defensive Garchomp, which is also good. That's impressively good. Like you run Rocky Helmet, Rough Skin, and any physical attacker just cries.
Yeah.
Toxic Stealth Rocks, Earthquake.
Yeah.
So it's actually a really good rocker because it forces switches easily.
People are so scared of SC
It's
Skeleton
really
now.
scary.
You just make them do whatever you want.
It's like I can't think of like a mon that like explicitly beats Garchomp, but at the same time, I feel like there's just like a lot of ways to beat it.
Mm-hmm. It's just that when people do end up running the Skill Shot SD set, which people like to do a lot, that's the main thing people are going to prep for and like try to not get swept by.
Yeah, which is like
if they successfully do that, your Garchomp's going to kind of suck a little bit.
Yeah, steel types that aren't weak to like ground, very good against it. Things that are like just really things that can like revenge it, like Ice Shard users, or like Scarfers that are faster than Garchomp. The first
thing that comes to mind for me is Corviknight.
Yeah, hey, call back, family.
Call back. Yeah, because even a Fire Blast with the right investment from Corviknight, it doesn't do enough.
Yeah, and Corviknight can also just roost.
Yeah, just roost it off.
Mm-hmm. The problem is, a Corviknight doesn't really do much back to Garchomp.
It can do it back, but it can just U-turn.
It can U-turn into something that can.
Yeah. Yeah, rest Corviknight.
Rest Corviknight.
Did you say rest?
I meant to say roost.
Well.
Rest Corviknight is kind of awesome. If you're worried about burn.
Yeah,
I don't think Corviknight cares much about burn.
No, because it's just going to click U-turn now.
It's going to click U-turn. I guess it's not offensively threatening, I guess. But, like, it isn't... Unless if you're, like, building it to do that, it's probably not going to do that anyway. But the question is Garchomp 4th? And I'm still not sure about that because there is also a Mega Diancie.
4th out of these 4? 4th out of these 4 or 4th out of...
4th out of in total. We haven't said anything about Mega Diancie.
I think Mega Diancie and Mega Gallade are kind of in the same boat where they're that base 110 difficult to outspeed and they just do insane amounts of damage and they both can set up really well.
Yeah. I think Mega Diancie is harder to beat.
And the thing is, both their type combinations are really good because Mega Diancie with Earth Power can get that fairy ground combination, which is just disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
And Mega Gallade's stab just hits a lot, and then it gets knockoff too, and whatever else coverage it wants to use.
And the cool thing about Mega Diancie is that you don't even need to Mega it right away if you need the bulk.
That is a good plus side.
It is facts. It's kind of facts.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of really good.
But I think I'd actually put Mega Diancie up above Mega Gallade.
I would easily. I think Mega Diancie is a lot better because of that, like, self-sufficiency thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because Mega Diancie is just like, it's just so good. I think it's a lot harder to shut down than
set time a lot better because Mega Gallade we all know is fucking insane. But I do think it is better.
Yeah, and the gap is small. I can't believe I'm gonna end up saying that Mega Maw is the worst of these.
I don't
know if I can say that. I think
it's not easy for me to say.
It's. I'm not gonna say it's not the hardest to use because if you get it in, it's just like click an attack, click sub. Right. But like I think Mega Diancie is just like so good.
I don't know. I don't know where I would put Mega Maw here. It's like there's 3 fast, hard-hitting things, and then there's Mega Maw, which is super
Mega Maw
slow.
With the right team, I think is better than all of them, though.
Yes,
that's the thing. Mega Maw with like Mega Maw Slowbro is like a funny haha thing, but it's really good. It's really good.
It is, and
like,
Fairy Steel is so stupidly good.
Yep. The only things that have it are Maw and Klefki.
Yeah,
Klefki is balanced
Klefki's
out by not being
a little
offensive.
statless asshole.
A little statless asshole. Yeah, Mega Maw also does get Sucker Punch.
Maw is also a statless asshole, but it gets huge power.
It gets huge power, so it doesn't matter. Here's the thing: if Mega Maw doesn't get 1 kill a game, you're using it wrong.
At least 1 kill a game.
The Mega Maw should literally get 1 kill every game. Every game, unless if you're like idiot, in which case, oops. What do you want me to tell you?
Unless you're like idiot.
Unless if you are like idiot.
Yeah. People usually don't even run Iron Head on it.
Iron Head isn't even that good on Mega Maw. You're better off running Knockoff. Like, Player Off Knockoff is significantly better coverage than Player Off Iron Head.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, oh, Knockoff is so good. Unfortunately, Mega Maw does have the best answer in the game, which is Torkoal. Torkoal is the best Mega Maw answer.
Torkoal is the best Mega Maw answer.
It resists both of its stabs. It forces it to run fucking Stone Edge to hit it like remotely well, and then it just OHKOs. But yeah, like, you run Iron Head if your opponent has like a fairy that doesn't die to Play Rough, or like something that doesn't die to Play Rough that will die to Iron Head.
There's also there's
not much.
Those other picks like Mega Aggron also does well against
Mega Aggron. Mega Aggron is just a pain in the ass for things that it's just a pain in the ass.
But mainly Mega Maw, because the standard set, it's not knocking off any items, so it's not doing that much damage, and then Player Off is resisted.
It's like
it almost forces it to run sub punch. Sub focus punch.
Yeah, sub punch is good against Mega Aggron.
That is the set against Mega Aggron, but even then it's like
I don't even know if is that even OHKO?
No, not even close. Yeah, I don't even think it's 3KOs.
Damn, that shit is 2KO.
I don't even think it's 2KOs.
I'm calcing this.
Yeah, calc it.
Maw while Aggron. It does 2-hit KO if it's not physically defensive, which, to be fair, most of the time it's not.
Well, most of the time it's not, but I guess Mega Maw will be. If it's
beating Mega Maw, I still think it 2-hit KOs. No, yeah, it does.
Oh. Interesting.
That is interesting. But to be fair, it also forces you to run Sub Punch.
It does, and you can only hit it once because it's Focus Punch. So.
Yeah. It does half its health, and then Aggron goes to take a nap or gets wish passed.
True. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mega Aggron usually gets paired with wish pass.
Yeah,
so
it's a real shame we're talking more about Mega Aggron than how good Mega Maw is. Mega Maw is an absolute demon in Trick Room.
It is.
Like, is it the best Trick Room abuser?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was thinking of that.
Absolutely, it is.
I was thinking maybe Melmetal, but nah, I think Mega Maw is better.
No. Mega Maw does as much with its attacks, and it has like.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't have the double flinch though.
Oh, true. It doesn't have the double flinch.
Mega Maw loses to Mega Maw.
I forget about that.
Maw also is just like, it's so good. If you get it in, it's really
the difference
good.
is Maw gets sword stance.
Yeah, Maw also gets sword
does
stance.
not get sword stance.
Melmetal does not get sword stance. Alola does, but
it's still low.
It also actually still has a hard time getting through bulky waters. Maw also hits harder. That's actually another thing, is that Maw sometimes is like, it's just, I can't break the Toxapex. But that's more of a coverage thing. It's basically the way you beat Maw is that if you can resist its stabs, or like if you can resist Play Rough Knockoff, it's not as broken. But it's also really hard to do that.
Is you fuck up the rest of the. The way you beat Mega Maw is you fuck up the rest of the team enough so that Mega Maw can't do enough.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you do.
Yeah, you have to make it so that Mega Maw like stays in on something that it shouldn't, or like
something that it usually can't.
Because the thing is, the Mega Maw isn't going to switch in. Mega Maw is not switching in most of the time. Because if before it Megas, it's really frail.
Yeah.
It has Intimidate, but it's still probably going to die.
The amount of times I've ran Spidef investment Mega Maw.
Mm-hmm. Also, if it gets burnt, you're fucked.
Awesome. Oh yeah, you just lose the entire game.
Which also applies to Mega Gallade. And does and kind of Urshifu. Does Urshifu Wicked Blow get weakened by burn? It definitely does.
It gets weakened by burn.
Yeah, so there's 3 Pokemon that get fucked by burn. So
yeah, burn affects the base power. So yeah. That's why.
You don't have to worry about that with Torntea.
So Mega Maw is insane.
Mega Maw is insane. All these Pokemon are insane. We haven't even said anything about Mega Gallade yet, and the only reason I haven't said anything is because I've never actually used Mega Gallade. Oh. It is the only one out of all of these that I haven't used.
I have, and it's crazy, but it's like pretty much
bonkers.
Crazy for the same reason Mega Diancie is crazy.
It's just
honestly
instantly threatening.
And Urshifu, it's just really overall threatening, and the coverage is really nice. It gets priority, which is really good. It's especially pretty damn bulky.
Especially bulky. It's not particularly physical. It's not bad physical bulk, but like
it's not horrible. But the special bulk is really nice to fall back on when you need to switch it in sometimes.
The problem is this thing once again really doesn't like Rocky Helmet or Burn very much.
It doesn't, but at least it can Swords Dance to make that not happen as much. I'm just looking at. Oh, it also got Triple Axle. That's pretty
Triple
important.
Axle is good until they run Rocky Helmet.
Yeah, it does get chipped by Rocky Helmet, but if they don't have a Rocky Helmet on it, which sometimes they can't do.
That's when you run Blizzard Mega Gallade. You run Icy Wind Mega Gallade.
Yeah.
And you win.
I'm gonna run
and then that's how you beat the Tangrowth with the Rocky Helmet.
Oh yeah.
This thing also Mega Gallade specifically just really hates like one specific type combination of Ghost Dark.
That's true.
It doesn't like it.
It does, but I mean all the Ghost Dark types are horrible. So.
Well, I don't think it likes Mega Sableye very much. I'm pretty sure Mega Sableye actually just raw beats it, but nobody ever uses Mega Sableye, so.
Oh, I do not sleep on Sableye.
No, Mega Sableye is good. It's just that nobody really uses it.
Nobody drafts it. It's insane. It is insane how little people draft that thing. That thing used to be my fallback back in Gen 6. I love Mega Sableye.
It's kind of good.
It is kind of good. Okay, so right. I think we've decided that Mega Diancie is going to be above Mega Gallade, wherever that is.
I think Mega Diancie is above Mega Gallade and Mega Maw.
I could agree with that, I think.
Yeah.
So do we say that Mega Diancie is 4th? And then Mega Maw is
Where's Garchomp?
Yeah, oh shit, where's
Garchomp?
Where's fucking Garchomp? Oh my god. Oh Jesus. Oh my god. Where's Garchomp?
Where is Garchomp? Where is it? A frog.
Damn. I think it would go below. I think it goes below.
I feel like Garchomp could go above Mega Gallade and Mega Maw.
Okay. That's an argument. Yeah.
I think it could go above them. I don't think it goes above Mega Diancie. Mega Diancie is like cracked.
Alright, good. So let's just solidify Mega Diancie as 4th. I think
it's kind of goated. Okay, so Mega Diancie is 4th place.
So then we just have Garchomp, Mega Gallade, and Mega Maw.
I think Mega Maw has to go at the bottom, even though I think it's really good. Or Mega Gallade. Really? I think Garchomp is better than them.
You think so? Okay.
I really think it is. It's just really good.
It is fucking good.
It's so good. Why?
It's better practically than it is in Team Preview too. I find.
It's like you see a Garchomp and you're like, ah, shit.
Well, you see the Garchomp and you're like, well, I made my prep to handle it, and then it comes out in the field and you're just like, oh.
And it just runs
am I
something
really
else.
ready for this? And then you realize you're not ready for it.
Mm-hmm. Like, at least, I'll say one, I think it's a bit less predictable. Like, Mega Gallade and Mega Ball, if you have game plans to beat them, they're a lot easier to beat than, like, having a game plan for Garchomp and then expecting something different. Because Gallade and Mega Ball will usually run, like, similar, not Mega Gallade and Garchomp. Mega Gallade and Mega Ball will usually run, like, the same, like, sets that you would expect. It's usually, like, the moves that are different. But, like, Garchomp could literally run, like, full special. Or it could run the funny Swords Dance, Scale Shot. Or it could just be defensive. Or you could run insane sets, like... Let me just make something up real quick.
Yeah, just look at the moveset real quick.
Let me look at the moveset real quick. Let me just, hold on.
I mean, if...
Sandstorm, Sandveil.
Okay.
Actually correct. Run Dragon Rush because you're insane.
Alright, yeah.
Hone Claw so that your Stone Edge. Hone Claw's Dragon Rush so that your Stone Edges don't miss. Sand Tomb if you like that.
We run Dragon Breath for
run Sunny Day.
Okay.
Sunny Day to boost your Fire Blast. It's so good. They made a Pokemon.
Yeah, maybe then you could beat a Corviknight.
Yeah, they could beat Corviknight if you run Sunny Day. Run Dragon Tail with rocks.
That's something I would genuinely do.
That's actually like kind of good.
But yeah, even if they like prep for the SD Scale Shot, you can just create conditions which end up winning anyway.
Yeah, it's like okay, cool. You deal with their answers, and then Garchomp wins anyway. Oops.
Yeah.
Just remember
if you play well enough, then that set can still win the game.
Just remember to like click Earthquake on the things that need to die to Earthquake instead of
going for the greedy
scale shot that would have killed if it got 3 hits, but you only got 2, and then you got Toxic, then you lose.
Fact.
All right, so now we have to decide who's at the bottom: Mega Gallade or Mega Maw.
Mega Gallade, Mega Maw.
I think honestly, I don't know if it's Mega Maw. Mega Maw is like so cracked.
I think I'm leaning toward Mega Maw goes above Mega Gallade.
I also am.
I think that's what I'm leaning towards.
Because I think Mega Gallade's easier to beat is the thing. And it's not easy to beat, but it is easier to beat.
Yeah. I mean, if the way to beat a Pokemon like Mega Maw is to outplay the team around it, that's just Mega Maw being too much to handle. If they play it right, then you just lose.
I don't think Mega Gallade will centralize your prep as much as Mega Maw.
Yeah.
Because if you beat the Mega Gallade, you beat the Mega Gallade. If you beat the Mega Maw, like, you had to beat the entire rest of the team first.
you need to create conditions that make the Mega Maw lose if you want to beat Mega Maw, and that's so much easier said than done.
It's like the opposite of Garchomp, where you have to make conditions to make Garchomp win. Your opponent has to set it up so that Mega Maw will lose.
Mega Maw can't take a life without.
I think Mega Maw is better than Mega Gallade.
Yeah, I'll settle with that. So we got we got Mew, Tornti, Urshifu, Mega Diancie, Garchomp, Mega Maw, Mega Gallade. That's our ranking.
This is arguable, but we're not going to argue it any
super
further.
Arguable. I know people aren't going to like.
I think though, honestly, I think all of these spots could potentially be arguable. I think the least arguable is Mew because it's cracked.
Probably.
But even then, there's people who think like, oh, Urshifu is better. No, Mega Diancie, Mega Ball, not Mega Gallade. I don't think anyone thinks Mega Gallade is better than Mew. I'm be honest.
No one thinks that. But I think people will think Mega Gallade's better than a lot of the other decisions.
Yeah.
Just due to like speed tier and
it has a good speed tier.
Handle ability. It's so solid.
Yeah, that's the 18 pointers from the TDL Season 2 18-point division. Ranked.
Yes. We've done it.
Alright.
We were thinking about this topic. We literally just didn't know what to do with it.
The strategy was don't talk about it beforehand, and then we'll be fine. And as it turns out, it's a lot harder when you don't know what you're saying.
We don't know what you're talking about.
I was talking about rest Corviknight earlier. It's like, I think I gotta take a nap.
Dak says, we ranking this 16 pointers, question mark.
Oh, not this time.
Not this time.
Not this time.
No. But that's a good read.
That's a good read. That was literally the second number on the list. Okay, are we gonna talk about something else, or are we just gonna?
Fun fact, Quang. I don't even think I watched your match here.
My match here. I don't think I watched it either.
Your own match, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't play. I actually didn't play it. I had someone ghost me the whole time.
I see.
Which is why I lost.
You were closing your eyes and clicking the button.
Yeah, I was closing my eyes and clicking buttons. That's why I played stupid with my Azumarill. And left it in on something that I should have just switched out on and kept it healthy for later.
I need to watch this replay back.
Awesome.
I actually never watched it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you cannot watch it right now.
I'm gonna have to.
I'm gonna have to. Okay. Is there anything else we need to talk about?
Too, but mine was so quick. It doesn't even matter.
Oh wait, no. You should actually go into full detail on your match.
Full detail onto why raw belly drum Galadar is better than sub Galadar.
We're gonna do turn by turn. Where is this fucking match? Where's this Deucin
turn
match?
By turn.
Where's the Deucin match? Doki the Dingus wins 5-0. Alright.
Okay.
So on the first turn, it starts out with lead Tangrowth and lead Cobalion. The Cobalion sets up Stealth Rocks and then eats an Earthquake.
This game was slow as hell. Stealth Rocks were helpful, but until the Galadar, it was slow as hell. And at a certain point, I realized that I just needed the Slowking to keep chipping on my Gyarados till it died, and I get Galadar to win.
Kind of.
If that didn't happen, then I lost. But it ended up working out.
I didn't get to watch this live. I was so mad.
My win con was my own Gyarados dying.
That's a good. Sometimes that's the win con.
Sometimes that is the play.
Sometimes it's the win con.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you got to be kind of cracked.
Yeah, Dak, I haven't watched yours either. I don't think. Did you? You say it's sad. Did you win or do you?
Oh, he lost.
No.
I can't believe. I cannot believe Bulbasaur did something in this game.
Yeah.
That was actually the funniest thing.
I remember just like looking at this team like I can't beat Mega Diancie. Oh wait, Fizdef Bulbasaur gets 3-shot by Diamond Storm and less than 3-shot by any other move that it has. Oh, interesting. I was really scared of setup Mega Diancie, but he ended up being so scared of Gorilla Tactics and Team Previews that he brought Protect, and he just didn't want to bring setup.
It's look, G-Darm. It may suck, but it also is very scary.
It does not suck.
It kind of sucks.
16 points. It's 16 points.
It kind of sucks.
It is 16 points. You can't say a 16-pointer sucks.
Yeah, yes I can.
Oh my god.
What are you, my mom? I cannot believe you just raw belly drummed.
Bro, okay. The unreactability of raw belly drum and then turning into a 130 base speed is underrated as fuck.
It's just like,
I'll stand by that.
Juice? I can't believe you also clicked Icicle Crash on the Corviknight instead of Fire Punch.
I did that because I can explain that. I did that because the Greninja didn't reveal anything yet, and if he ended up going hard Tangrowth with the Rocky Helmet and I got chipped, that would ruin my calculation for the Water Shuriken 3-hit.
I don't think Tangrowth had Rocky Helmet, did it?
It did. It did have.
Okay, well, also the slow Blastoise did.
No, Blastoise did. That's what I meant. Not Tangrowth.
I'm going in raw.
Yeah. I brought Icicle Crash over Ice Punch because I didn't want to make contact with any Rocky Helmets.
That's fair. I can't.
Which was a decision I'm proud of, but
it was not very necessary. I can't believe you ran Pasho Berry to beat Water Shuriken.
I was so happy about that.
Actually, so cracked.
I was so happy about that calc when I made it, because fucking calc doesn't do multi-hits with the resistance berries correctly, so I had to manually go through each way um of giving my mon a SPDF and HP spread.
Yep.
Just to make it so that I could put the max amount of attack while living a 3-hit shuriken.
Yeah, it was kind of cracked.
He didn't even bring shuriken. It didn't even matter.
If he brought shuriken, he might have won.
He might have won, yeah. If he got 4 hits.
Well, at that point, it would have put you in range to die to a Rocky helmet, I think.
Well, that's why I brought Icicle Crash.
Yeah, well, would have Icicle Crash would that have killed the Blastoise? It probably would have.
At the range it was, I think it was at like 40
like 70.
health, and it was at max attack, so yes, it would have killed.
It was at 70. You're full of shit.
Okay, well that still probably would have killed, honestly.
It would have killed.
Yeah. Also, Dex, right? I don't think he could have won just because I still had 4 Pokemon alive,
and one of them was like a Thundurus.
One of them was a Thundurus
that fucked up everything else on the team.
Yeah. I'm happy about that game.
I'm happy. I'm so proud. So true. So true.
So true.
All right.
How long have we been going for?
I think we've been going for an hour and 6 minutes.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Is this a good way to end it?
No.
Do you think? No?
Just kidding.
Want to do one more thing?
Yep. Nope. We're ending.
Okay. Alright. Just do that, I guess.
Just do that, alright. Yep.